Today, I'm going to discuss something which is very common in our society. Urban generation is really very much susceptible, or better to say, acclimatized to this. Guess what? Yes, you're right, it is divorce. In the last one decade, the divorce rate in India has increased exponentially. If you visit family courts, you will find that family court is flooded with the divorce cases. Hello everyone. Though as I said above, topic is conventional and common, but my presentation is definitely new as it will make understand everything about divorce in the next few minutes. In this video, I'll discuss divorce theories, legal provisions, subsequent legal proceedings corroborated with the case laws. So, watch this video till the end. As all of us know, that divorce was not much popular concept in India, as it was not in custom, especially the Hindu law. As such, rather very recently, it has been introduced through the Section 13 of Hindu Marriage Act 1955. So let's understand first what is the meaning of divorce. Divorce is a process of dissolution of marriage between the parties, that is the full and the final winding up of the marital relationship forever. Decree of divorce is passed by the court which brings marital tie to an end. Parties cease to be husband and wife to each other. However, as I said that before understanding the legal aspects proceedings, I'll discuss the theories of divorce, which is nothing other than the explanation or the reason of the divorce. Though the Hindu Marriage Act 1955 clearly does not define any divorce theory, but we have three following theories of divorce. The first theory, the fault theory, the second theory is the mutual consent theory, and the third is the irritable breakdown theory. So let's understand it one by one. The first, fault theory, it is also known as the guilt theory. In this case, one party is at fault, which means he or she did something which is legally or even morally not allowed to do. For example, having extramarital love affairs, which is known as adultery, beating or harassing by any means to spouse, which is known as cruelty, deserted one's spouse for not less than 2 years, changing one's religion, abandoning the worldly life, or becoming the sannyasi, etc. Here, in all the circumstances, we can see that one party is at fault, so he or she is guilty. Therefore, in case if the petitioner proves his or her spouse guilty in the court of law based on any of the grounds given above, will be given the divorce decree. Here I would like to add one more point, that is, as I said above, the theories of divorce are not clearly mentioned in the Hindu Marriage Act 1955, but we want to stress the fault theory or the guilt theory. Then we can clearly see it in the Section 13 Clause 1 of Hindu Marriage Act. In other words, Section 13 Clause 1 indirectly defines the fault theory of divorce. Now, let's check the second theory. What is that? You're right, that is the mutual consent theory. The meaning of mutual consent is if both the parties willingly, without any external pressure or any such other threat or influence, visit court and file joint petition to get the divorce, then court is bound to grant the divorce without asking any ground or the reason of divorce as mentioned in the fault theory case. The mutual consent of both the parties is sufficient enough to get the divorce. Now, if we check such provision in our Act, then we can see that Section 13 Clause B directly defines this mutual consent theory. Secondly, one more point I would like to add here, that is, the theory of mutual consent is indirectly based on Article 21 of the Indian Constitution, which gives total freedom to every citizen to live their lives as they want. Therefore, Even court has no right to ask the reason of seeking divorce in this case. Now, our third and the last theory is irretrievable breakdown theory. The literal meaning of irretrievable is not able to retrieve or put together. So, in our case, if the marital relationship arrived at such stage that incapable of being brought into harmony again in any condition, then it is better to dissolve the marriage. Now, directly we cannot find any provision in Hindu Marriage Act 1955 which defines this theory. However, if we see the reason behind this, we can trace this theory as well as in section 13 clause 1 itself. Seems some of you are confused. Don't worry, I'll explain it with an example. Remember, in the beginning, what I said that theories of divorce are nothing other than the explanation or the reasons or the grounds of the divorce. So, you don't think that there must be some reason or ground of irretrievable breakdown theory? Think what could be the reason of such breakdown? The most significant is, of course, the desertion, which means both the parties living separately for many years, say for 7 years or for 10 years, and they have no interest to return back in their marital status again. Now remember, desertion is mentioned as one of the grounds of divorce in section 13 clause 1 of Hindu Marriage Act 1955. Renunciation of worldly life. It means if one of the spouses either left the worldly life and became sannyasi or changed the religion and became the preacher and no more interested in family life. It may also be an irretrievable breakdown, right? Now again check this provision that is very clearly mentioned in section 13 clause 1 of Hindu Marriage Act. Here I would like to cite one of the Supreme Court's judgment on this theory, namely Naveen Kohli versus Neelu Kohli. The Supreme Court made a strong plea for incorporating irretrievable breakdown of the marriage as a ground for divorce under Hindu Marriage Act 1955. The Supreme Court used its extraordinary powers under Article 142 of the Constitution to grant divorce in the case of irretrievable breakdown of marriage. Article 142 provides a unique power to the Supreme Court to do complete justice between the parties involved in it. It is with this objective that the court finds it appropriate to grant divorce in a case of irretrievable breakdown of marriage. So, all these theories, though not mentioned in the Hindu Marriage Act, but it can be easily traced in section 13 of the Act. Now, I hope you're clear with the theories of divorce. So, it's time to say bye-bye, but you don't forget to watch my next video, that is part 2 on divorce itself, where I'll be discussing the legal proceedings of the divorce, that is specifically section 13 of Hindu Marriage Act. However, if you have any confusion regarding the theories of divorce, you may ask through the comment box given below.